This is Jay Arthur, author of the QI Macros. Hardly a week goes by that somebody calls up and says, "Hey Jay, I don't know what to do with my data. I don't know how to get it in a format where I can start to chart it." And so that's because their data is not set up in a way that's conducive to charting. So here's a common thing that I see. So here's some defect types, and we have week 1 here, and by day we have different types of defects, and then they put week 2 down here, and then they put week 3 down there, or in the worst case they actually put week 2 on a separate sheet, right? So here's week 2 on a separate sheet. Well, there's no way to get this in a format that we can chart all of this together. So we're going to have to move some data around to be able to do that. So I'm going to select our titles and our data from week 2. I'm going to paste that in over here. Then I'm going to go down and get week 3. Right, and you can right click on that and choose copy. Then I can go up here and I can paste that in. I'm going to go down here and get week 4. Copy that. I usually use Control C to copy things because that's just faster for me. So here's our data. Now we've got it in some sort of order. But one of the things that's missing clearly is a total. So we can say totals. And if you click on the cell underneath here, under the home, you can actually click on sum. And so it will actually summarize all that for you. And so we can take that and we can go this way and drag that across. And so there's all of our totals. Up that down just a little bit. And then, of course, we might want totals on the side. And so we can take that data, and again, we can click here and click sum. It'll sum horizontally for us. And if you click on this little bar at the bottom till you get that plus sign, we can drag and drop that right down. So there's your whole set of data, all right? And now we can start to make a chart. All right, so what I can do is I can select my headings, and I can come down here, hold down the Control key, and select totals. And then I could say Insert, and I could choose a line chart, because this is time series. We want time series data to go that way. And there's my chart. Right now it has some garbage in here. It's called chart junk, called grid lines and so on. We might have to delete those, and we might have to reset the limits over here so that we spread out our data so it looks like something. All right, we might want to add titles, right? We could do that. We could come into the chart design and actually decide to add in some headings or whatever in here. All right, so these are the kinds of things we can do pretty simply with this data. Now, unfortunately, line charts aren't that smart. They're good for showing trends like COVID infection rates or something, but they're not very good for showing how your process is working. So in the QI macros, we have what are called run charts, and a median chart would show the median for all of that and create a median chart for us here. So here we can see our data with the median, and it's automatically adjusted things and labeled your chart, which is kind of handy. Or we could take that data and we could also use the QI macros control chart wizard to figure out what kind of chart that should be. And it'll find out it's a C chart and show that we were low here and then we got higher over here. All right, so we're having more defects along the way here. But our process is pretty stable and so on. So control charts are a much better chart to use for time series data. Now, if we come back to our data, you notice we have our totals over here. We could select that, and we could select the names of all the types of defects. Again, I hold down the Control key to select other things. And again, I could insert, in this case, a column chart. Right? So here we see our totals, and we can see things, but they're not really organized. We'd have to clean this up quite a bit. So we could get rid of that. And because these are still selected, the QI macros has what's called a Pareto chart. And the Pareto chart will take that data and say, what are the most common types of things, and sort them to the left. So cracks and air bubbles are 2/3 really of our total types of defects. So we want to fix those first. Again, the Pareto chart has a cumulative line, and the bar chart sorted automatically for you. So that's how you go about formatting your data for charting in Excel. Get it in some sort of format. Now, this is all horizontal. If you're really going for it, I would recommend that you take your data and simply make it vertical. So I might copy that. If we took that data and did what's called a paste transpose, here's all of our data, and you can see that this is the way Excel handles time series data. Excel would probably prefer you to have columns with your time series going down top to bottom and all your totals along the side here. So that's how I would take this data that was all chopped up and get it into a format where we can actually chart it in Excel using line charts, bar charts, Pareto charts, run charts, or control charts in the QI macros. Are you still using line, bar, and pie charts from the last century? You might want to consider control charts, Pareto charts, and histograms, smart charts for the 21st century.